Hey there, friends. In today's video, we're embarking on an epic journey through the complete 5 nights at Freddy's Saga. What started as Scott Cawthon's last-ditch effort before quitting game development became a franchise that redefined how we think about jump scares, childhood nostalgia, and pizza. In this video, I'll guide you through every mainline game from 2014 to 2024, unraveling the twisted tale of the Afton family and exploring each cursed location from rundown pizzerias to massive shopping malls. 5 Nights at Freddy's stories are told through scattered clues and hidden details, so this video combines confirmed story elements from the game with widely accepted community theories and interpretations to piece together the full narrative. Fair warning, we're talking about some dark stuff. Corporate cover-ups of missing children, employees getting ground up in recycling machines, and souls trapped in metal prisons for decades. So what's the story all about? Well, when you are ready, grab a cookie and hot chocolate, sit back, and let's survive 5 Nights at Freddy's. Let's begin with 5 Nights at Freddy's 1, the hit indie horror game that launched in 2014. Created by Scott Cawthon, a developer who nearly quit game making before striking gold with killer animatronics, FNAF transformed the horror genre with nothing but cameras, doors, and a dwindling power meter. Our story takes place in Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, a magical place for kids and grown-ups alike, where fantasy and fun come to life, or at least that's what the brochure says. The year is 1993, and you've just landed a night security job at a failing pizzeria that makes Chuck E. Cheese look like fine dining. The restaurant sits somewhere in Hurricane, Utah, a dimly lit establishment covered in cheerful posters declaring "Play, Party, Eat," while pizza decorations and black and white checkered floors try desperately to maintain a festive atmosphere. But something's wrong here. Very wrong. Customers have complained to the health department about mucus and blood seeping from the mascot suits. Parents whisper about missing children from years past. And the company is so broke they've limited your power usage to save money. The pizzeria consists of several rooms connected by dark hallways, a show stage where the band performs, Pirate Cove behind its mysterious purple curtain, a dining area scattered with party tables, and your office, a cramped security booth with doors on either side and barely enough power to last until 6 a.m. You play as Mike Schmidt, a security guard who thought he was just taking an easy job for some quick cash. Mike's motivations seem simple enough. He wants free pizza and a paycheck, but there's more to him than meets the eye. Your only friend is Phone Guy, though calling him a friend might be generous since he's just pre-recorded messages from a previous guard. Phone Guy worked your shift before you, and he's surprisingly casual about the whole killer robots situation. He gives you advice each night, explains why the animatronics want to stuff you into a suit, and tries to keep things light with corporate speak and nervous laughter. Now for our antagonists, the stars of the show. Freddy Fazbear himself is a bulky brown bear with a top hat and bow tie who leads the band. He's patient, strategic, and plays a creepy music box tune right before he kills you. Bonnie the Bunny is a blue guitarist who's usually the first to move and the most aggressive in hunting you down. Chica the Chicken carries her cupcake Carl everywhere and really wants you to know that it's time to eat, permanently. Foxy the Pirate hides behind the curtain in Pirate Cove, and if you don't check on him enough, or check too much, he'll sprint down the hallway and drain your precious power. And then there's Golden Freddy, a mysterious slumped yellow bear who appears randomly and crashes your entire game if you don't pull up your monitor fast enough. Night 1 begins with you settling into your office chair at midnight. Phone Guy calls to welcome you to your new summer job, though it's November, so either someone's confused or this recording is older than it seems. He casually mentions that the animatronics tend to wander at night and might try to stuff you into a Freddy suit if they see you, which would be fatal due to all the crossbeams and wires inside.
Hello? Hello? I wanted to record a message for you to help you get settled in on your first night. I actually worked in that office before you. I'm finishing up my last week now, as a matter of fact, so I know it can be a bit overwhelming, but I'm here to tell you there's nothing to worry about. You'll be fine. So let's just focus on getting you through your first week, okay? Let's see. First, there's an introductory greeting from the company that I'm supposed to read. It's kind of a legal thing, you know. Welcome to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. a magical place for kids and grown-ups alike, where fantasy and fun come to life. Fazbear Entertainment is not responsible for damage to property or person. Upon discovering that damage or death has occurred, a missing person report will be filed within 90 days or as soon as property and premises have been thoroughly cleaned and bleached and the carpets have been replaced. Blah, blah, blah.
The animatronics believe you're an endoskeleton without a costume, Phone Guy explains, and company policy requires all endoskeletons to be suited. So really, they're just trying to help. Well, help you die horribly, but hey, at least they're following protocol. Each night gets progressively worse. Night 1, you might see Bonnie peek into your office. By night 4, you're juggling all 4 main animatronics while your power drains faster than your will to live. You survive by monitoring security cameras, closing doors when the animatronics get too close, and turning on hallway lights to check for lurking dangers. But every action drains power, and if you run out before 6 a.m., Freddy performs a special musical number just for you, right before stuffing you into a suit. The real story emerges through context clues and Phone Guy's nervous admissions. Years ago, 5 children disappeared at a Freddy's location. A man in a spring Bonnie suit lured them to a back room and took their lives. The bodies were never found, but the animatronics started acting strange afterward, leaking blood and mucus, smelling like decay. Those children's souls now possess the robots, it turns out, and they're angry. They see adults as threats, especially night guards who might resemble their killer. You survive all 5 nights through careful power management and sheer determination. After night 5, you receive your paycheck, a whopping $120 for risking your life. But you come back for night 6, earning overtime and a star on your employee record. Then you return for night 7, where you tamper with the animatronics AI settings. For this transgression, you get fired. The restaurant closes permanently by year's end. The health violations, the danger to employees, the complete inability to sell the franchise, it all adds up to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza shutting its doors forever. The animatronics remain inside, waiting in the dark, possessed by children who never got justice and never found peace. You walk away from your week of terror with your pink slip, having survived what countless night guards before you couldn't. But you're not done with Freddy's. This is just the beginning of your journey to find your father and undo the horrors William Afton created. And that's the end of 5 Nights at Freddy's 1.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady.
We're now on to round 2 with 5 Nights at Freddy's 2, released just a few months after the original in November 2014. What we thought was a sequel turned out to be a prequel, taking us back to 1987, when Freddy's tried to reopen with a fresh start and shiny new animatronics. It's November 1987, and Fazbear Entertainment has reopened with a bigger, brighter location designed to make everyone forget about those nasty rumors from the past. The company went all out, colorful party rooms, prize corner with arcade games, a Kids Cove play area, and a massive show stage for the brand new animatronics. The restaurant sprawls across multiple rooms, party rooms 1 through 4 decorated for birthdays, a game area filled with arcade cabinets, the prize corner where a mysterious box plays music, and Kids Cove where children can play with a take-apart and put-back-together fox. Your office sits at the center of it all. No doors this time, just a hallway stretching ahead and air vents on either side. The company's budget cuts mean no security doors, but hey, at least they gave you a Freddy mask and a flashlight. But beneath the cheerful facade, something sinister lurks. In parts/service, the old animatronics from the previous location sit in disrepair, waiting to be scrapped. The company tried to retrofit them with new technology, but gave up when they looked too scary. Now they're just spare parts gathering dust, except at night when they start walking around too. You play as Jeremy Fitzgerald, a night security guard starting his first shift at the grand reopening. You're just trying to make it through the week, but you've walked into something far worse than a tough job. Phone Guy returns with his helpful messages, now as your boss or supervisor, warning you that the previous guard complained about the animatronics trying to get into the office. He mentions they've switched him to day shift, and something about the way he says it doesn't sound good. Your mechanical adversaries have doubled this time. First, there are the toy animatronics, plastic, shiny, and fitted with facial recognition software tied to a criminal database. Toy Freddy, rounder and friendlier looking than his predecessor. Toy Bonnie, blue with rosy cheeks and green eyes. Toy Chica, who removes her beak and eyes when she leaves the stage for some horrifying reason. Then there's Mangle, originally meant to be a replacement for the original Foxy animatronic, but torn apart so many times by kids that the staff gave up repairing her. And don't forget Balloon Boy, who doesn't kill you directly, but disables your flashlight with his annoying laughter, leaving you defenseless against Foxy. But the most important character might be the puppet, a tall, slender marionette trapped in a music box at the prize corner. As long as you keep winding that box, it stays inside. Let the music stop, and it comes for you with unstoppable purpose. Now onto the story. Night 1 starts with Phone Guy welcoming you to your new career at the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. He sounds more corporate now, more nervous. He explains that the old animatronics are being kept for parts, and the new ones are incredibly advanced. They can walk around during the day, they're linked to criminal databases, and they're supposed to be safe. But there's a problem. They seem to see adults as threats, especially at night. Maybe it's a glitch in their facial recognition, or maybe it's something worse.
Hello and welcome to your new summer job at the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. I'm here to talk you through some of the things you can expect to see during your first week here and to help you get started down this new and exciting career path. Now, I want you to forget anything you may have heard about the old location, you know. Some people still have a somewhat negative impression of the company. That old restaurant was kind of left to rot for quite a while, but I want to reassure you, Fazbear Entertainment is committed to family fun and above all, safety. They've spent a small fortune on these new animatronics. Facial recognition, advanced mobility, they even let them walk around during the day. Isn't that neat? But most importantly, they're all tied into some kind of criminal database so they can detect a predator a mile away. Heck, we should be paying them to guard you. Now that being said, no new system is without its kinks. You're only the second guard to work at that location. The first guy finished his week but complained about conditions. We switched him over to the day shift. So, hey, lucky you, right? Mainly he expressed concern that certain characters seemed to move around at night and even attempted to get into his office. Now, from what we know, that should be impossible. That restaurant should be the safest place on Earth. So while our engineers don't really have an explanation for this, the working theory is that the robots were never given a proper night mode. So when it gets quiet, they think they're in the wrong room. So then they go try to find where the people are, and in this case, that's your office. Well, I think that's it. You should be golden. Check the lights, put on the Freddy head if you need to. Keep the music box wound up. Piece of cake. Have a good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
You quickly learn the horrible juggling act of survival. You must check cameras constantly to wind up the music box, flash your light down the hallway to keep Foxy at bay, and frantically throw on your Freddy mask whenever someone enters your office. No doors means no safety, just you, a plastic mask, and the hope that these possessed machines will think you're one of them. As the nights progress, Phone Guy's messages become increasingly disturbing. He mentions that someone used a yellow suit in the back room, that there's an investigation happening, and that the building is on lockdown. No one is allowed in or out, especially not previous employees. You realize you're working during an active crime scene. William Afton has struck again, taking the lives of 5 more children while dressed as Spring Bonnie. By night 5, Phone Guy tells you that the building is being shut down, at least for a while. The toy animatronics are malfunctioning, acting aggressive towards staff. He mentions that you're being moved to the day shift, a position that just became available. Night 6 is where everything falls apart. You work Saturday's birthday party during the day and then return for one last night shift. The animatronics are more aggressive than ever, as if they know their time is running out. You survive through sheer determination and pattern memorization, constantly winding that music box while fending off attacks from all directions. After night 6, you receive your paycheck and a newspaper clipping that reveals the restaurant is closing down. The new animatronics will be scrapped due to possible malfunctions. The old ones are being kept in hopes of a possible reorganization. But most importantly, there's been an incident, the bite of 87. During that last birthday party, one of the animatronics bit someone's frontal lobe off. While the victim survived, the incident ensures that animatronics will never be allowed to walk around during the day again. Fritz Smith takes over for one night on November 14th, 1987. He tampers with the animatronics AI and gets immediately fired for it, and for odor. Seems like everyone who works here has that same strange smell. You walk away from your week at Freddy's knowing you witnessed history, the event that would define how animatronics interact with humans forever. The bite of 87 becomes legend, the toys are destroyed, and somewhere in storage, the withered animatronics wait for their next chance at revenge. And that concludes Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Up next is Five Nights at Freddy's 3, where Scott Cawthon took us 30 years into the future to 2023. Released in March 2015, FNAF 3 transforms a struggling pizzeria into a horror attraction trying to profit from the tragedies of the past. It's 2023 and the murders at Freddy's have become urban legend, something parents tell their kids about to scare them. Some entrepreneurial folks decided to cash in on the mystique by creating a horror attraction inside an amusement park. They've collected every piece of Freddy's memorabilia they could find. Old drawings, arcade machines, cosplay pieces, and even authentic animatronic parts. Your office is intentionally decrepit, with exposed wiring and multiple ventilation systems that barely work. The attraction consists of multiple rooms connected by hallways and an extensive vent system. The cameras show different areas filled with props, empty Freddy suits, boxes of parts, arcade machines, and creepy decorations meant to give paying customers a good scare. The whole place is designed to feel authentic, down to the flickering lights and failing equipment. But here's the thing about trying to look run down and barely functional. Sometimes you succeed too well. The ventilation keeps failing, causing hallucinations, the audio system glitches constantly, and the cameras cut to static. You play as the Fazbear's Fright Guard, hired a week before the grand opening to make sure everything works and nothing catches on fire. Yes, Phone Dude actually says that. You're not just security, you're going to be part of the show, playing the role of the terrified night guard for guests to discover at the end of their tour. Phone Dude is your enthusiastic guide, a stark contrast to Phone Guy's corporate nervousness. He's genuinely excited about the horror attraction, calling you man and dude while geeking out over every creepy relic they find. He's the one tracking down leads, exploring boarded up rooms, and hunting for anything authentic from the old pizzerias. Then there's Springtrap, William Afton, the purple guy, the child killer himself, mummified inside a Spring Bonnie suit. 30 years ago, Afton returned to the abandoned pizzeria to destroy the animatronics, but the ghosts of his victims cornered him. In desperation, he jumped into the Spring Bonnie suit to scare them, laughing at their powerlessness, until the spring locks failed, crushing him slowly and painfully. Now he's back, a decaying corpse fused with metal and fabric, and he wants out. The phantom animatronics serve as your enemies this time around. They're hallucinations caused by the ventilation failures, or maybe manifestations of the lingering spirits. Phantom Freddy limps past your window, Phantom Chica appears in arcade machines, Phantom Foxy lunges from the box of parts in your office, Phantom Balloon Boy giggles on your cameras. Phantom Mangle hangs from the ceiling with static noise, and Phantom Puppet blocks your entire view, staring into your soul. They can't kill you directly, but they cause system failures that leave you vulnerable to the real threat. Night 1 begins with Phone Dude's excited rambling about the attraction. He explains that you'll be monitoring cameras to watch future guests and make sure no one steals anything or makes out in the corners. Typical security stuff. He shows off their latest finds. Some drawings, a foxy head that might be authentic or might be a crappy cosplay, and a desk fan that could take your finger off. The systems are barely functional, he admits with a laugh, warning you especially about the ventilation. If that goes offline, you'll start seeing things.
Hey, glad you came back for another night. I promise it'll be a lot more interesting this time. We found some great new relics over the weekend, and we're out tracking down a new lead right now. So let me just update you real quick, then you can get to work. Like, the attraction opens in like a week, so we have to make sure everything works and nothing catches on fire. When the place opens, people will come in at the opposite end of the building and work their way toward you, then past you, and out the exit. Yeah, you've officially become part of the attraction. You'll be starring as the security guard. So not only will you be monitoring the people on the camera as they pass through, to make sure no one steals anything or makes out in the corner, but you'll also be a part of the show. It'll make it feel really authentic, I think. Now let me tell you about what's new. We found another set of drawings, always nice, and a foxy head, which we think could be authentic. Then again, it might just be another crappy cosplay. And we found a desk fan, very old school, metal though. So watch the fingers. Right now the place is basically just, flashing lights and spooky props. I honestly thought we'd have more by now. If we don't have something really cool by next week, then we may have to suit you up in a furry suit and make you walk around saying, boo. But, like I said, we're trying to track down a good lead right now. Some guy who helped design one of the buildings says it was like an extra room that got boarded up, or something like that. So we're going to take a peek and see what we can find.
You spend the first night getting familiar with the camera system, audio devices, and the maintenance panel for rebooting failed systems. Strange things move in the shadows, phantom animatronics that jump at you and cause your equipment to fail. You manage to survive by keeping the air flowing and your sanity intact, but Night 2 changes everything. Phone Dude can barely contain his excitement. They found a real animatronic, an intact one, hidden in a sealed room that got boarded up years ago. He has to leave quickly, but assures you it's in there somewhere. Springtrap begins stalking the attraction, moving with disturbing intelligence. Unlike the Phantoms, he's very real and very dangerous. You quickly learn Springtrap's patterns. He's smart, hiding in rooms and using the vents to get closer, but he's still bound by programming, and playing children's laughter from Balloon Boy on the audio system lures him away. When he's in the vents, you can seal them to block his path. The Phone Dude doesn't call after Night 2, and instead you hear old training cassettes from the original Freddy's locations. Phone Guy's voice from old training cassettes explains the spring lock suits, hybrid costumes that could function as both animatronics and wearable suits. He warns about their danger, how moisture could cause the locks to snap, how employees should never wear them. You realize you're listening to instructions for the very suit that became Afton's tomb. Each night, the minigames reveal more truth. You see Purple Guy dismantling the animatronics one by one, thinking he's destroying the evidence of his crimes. You see the ghosts corner him, you see him die in the suit, crushed by his own hubris, and in the final minigame, you see the children's souls finally rest, all except one. Cassidy, the vengeful spirit in Golden Freddy, refuses to move on, keeping Afton alive to suffer. Nights 3, 4, and 5 become increasingly frantic. Springtrap learns your strategies and adapts to your tricks. The Phantoms appear more frequently, causing more system failures. The ventilation feels like it's failing every few seconds. After Night 5, you complete your week, and the attraction is ready to open. But then you unlock Nightmare Mode, where Springtrap becomes hyper-aggressive, the Phantoms are relentless, and survival seems impossible. You persist through sheer determination, audio lures, and precise vent management. FNAF 3 offers multiple endings based on your actions throughout the game. After completing Night 5, you're first presented with the bad ending, a dark screen showing the heads of Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy with glowing white eyes. A fifth head lurks in the shadows, barely visible. These lights represent the children's souls still trapped, still suffering, unable to move on despite their killer's punishment. But there's another path. Hidden throughout the nights are secret mini-games, clicking on specific objects, entering codes on arcade machines, finding invisible walls to phase through. In these 8-bit adventures, you play as animatronics with various objectives. BB's Air Adventure involves collecting balloons, Mangle's quest involves collecting parts, while Chica's party involves giving cake to children. Complete them all and you unlock Happiest Day, a birthday party where the children finally celebrate, their tears stopping as they receive their long-denied peace. This triggers the good ending after Night 5, where the same animatronic heads appear but now dark and lifeless. The lights are out and the souls are free, almost all of them at least. If you conquer Nightmare Mode on Night 6, you receive the final ending. The next day's newspaper reports that Fazbear's Fright burned down overnight due to faulty wiring, though the article notes that foul play isn't ruled out. Everything was destroyed in the flames, all the relics, all the history, all the evidence of Freddy's dark past. The few items that survived would later be sold at public auction. And that concludes Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Let's now dive into Five Nights at Freddy's 4, the game that promised to be the final chapter when it launched in July 2015. The game strips away everything we knew about surviving Freddy's. There are no cameras, no phone guy, and no pizzeria. Instead, we're trapped in a child's bedroom, armed with nothing but a flashlight and two very unreliable doors. The year is 1983, and you're trapped in a seemingly ordinary child's room that becomes a hunting ground every night. The walls sport a cheerful blue design with stars and paintings, toys scattered across the floor, including a purple robot and toy caterpillar. But at midnight, everything changes. Two doors flank either side, leading to pitch-black hallways where breathing echoes in the darkness. Directly ahead looms the closet, its doors barely containing whatever wants to burst out. Behind you sits the bed, where things crawl up when you're not looking. No office, no security systems, just you, a child, alone in the dark with only a flashlight for protection. During the main nights, you're seeing through the eyes of Michael Afton, the older brother reliving his guilt through nightmares about what he did to his younger sibling. But in the mini-games, you experience the perspective of the crying child, Michael's younger brother, during his final week alive. His only friend is his Fredbear plush, who speaks to him in mysterious text, offering comfort while making ominous observations about his family and surroundings. Your tormentor in the minigames is your older brother, Michael, who wears a foxy mask to terrorize you. He jumps out from behind the TV, locks you in rooms, and constantly mocks your fears with his friends who wear Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica masks. They think scaring you is hilarious, right up until their prank goes too far. The Nightmare animatronics are your hunters in the main gameplay. Nightmare Freddy appears with 3 mini Freddys called Freddles that gather on your bed. Nightmare Bonnie attacks from the left hall, while Nightmare Chica comes from the right, sometimes accompanied by her Nightmare Cupcake. Nightmare Foxy hides in your closet, gradually emerging if you don't check on him enough. On night 5, Nightmare Fredbear takes over, a golden monstrosity that can attack from anywhere. And on night 7, if you dare, you face Nightmare itself, a transparent, shadow-like version of Nightmare Fredbear that represents death. There's also Plush Trap, a small Nightmare version of Spring Bonnie who appears in a between-night minigame. If you can stop him on the X mark in his hallway, you shave 2 hours off the next night. But fail, and you get jump-scared by a tiny terror. With that background out of the way, let's begin your story. Night 1 throws you straight into the nightmare with no explanation, no phone call, and no tutorial. You're alone in your room at midnight, and things immediately start moving in the darkness. You hear breathing from the halls, deep and mechanical. You learn through terrifying trial and error. Listen at the doors before using your flashlight, check the bed for Freddles, and watch the closet for Foxy. After surviving until 6 a.m., you experience a mini-game showing 5 days until the party. You're the crying child, and your brother has locked you in your room. Your Fredbear plush tells you that tomorrow is another day. These minigames reveal the real story. You're counting down to your birthday party at Fredbear's family diner, and you're terrified. The minigames paint an increasingly tragic picture. Day by day, you see the crying child's life. His brother torments him relentlessly. He sees his sister Elizabeth's empty room, and he watches his father help someone into a spring Bonnie suit at Fredbear's. A girl outside tells him the animatronics come to life at night and hide bodies. The 4th night's minigame is devastating. Your brother and his friends wear their masks and chase you around the house. You're trapped under a table, sobbing while they laugh. Your brother picks you up, telling his friends to help him give you a closer look at Fredbear since you love him so much. Night 5 changes everything. Nightmare Fredbear takes over, attacking from everywhere with no pattern and no mercy. He's in the halls, the closet, and on the bed, a golden nightmare that seems to teleport around your room. You survive through pure reflexes and luck. The 5th minigame shows the party and the bite of 83. Your brother and his friends carry you to Fredbear, shoving you into the animatronic's mouth as a joke. But Fredbear's jaw mechanisms engage, crushing your skull. The brother drops to his knees as his friends flee. What was meant to be a cruel prank becomes murder. Night 6 is another survival challenge, but the final minigame shows the aftermath. You're in a black void with your Fredbear plush and other plushies. The Fredbear plush says that you're broken and that OT will put you back together, then everything fades. The crying child dies from his injuries, and his brother is left with guilt that will haunt him forever. Nightmare mode on Night 7 pits you against Nightmare, a translucent, shadowy version of Nightmare Fredbear with a brain visible in his head. He's death incarnate, the final boss of your psychological torment. Surviving him means confronting the ultimate fear, death itself. The game ends with a locked box and text saying, perhaps some things are best left forgotten for now. Scott Cawthon later revealed the box's contents have changed over time as the story evolved, and he admitted even he doesn't know if he'll ever reveal what was originally inside. In reality, you're not playing as the victim of the bite. You're playing as the perpetrator, reliving his crime through endless nightmares. Michael Afton, racked with guilt over killing his brother, experiences these nightmares potentially for years. The nightmare animatronics are most likely manifestations of trauma and guilt, and the knowledge that you became the very monster you used to mock your brother for fearing. You survive 7 nights of terror, but there's no escape from what really haunts you: the memory of your brother's tears, his pleas for help, and the sound of Fredbear's jaw closing. And on that chilling note, we come to the end of Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Up next is Five Nights at Freddy's sister location, released in October 2016. In this adventure, you're crawling through vents, hiding under desks, and navigating an underground facility where each night brings a different challenge. The game takes place at Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rentals, an underground facility that makes the previous locations look like actual restaurants. You descend each night in an elevator to a massive bunker beneath the ground, filled with observation rooms, maintenance areas, and containment units for animatronics designed to do far more than sing and dance. The facility consists of 10 interconnected rooms with industrial styling, concrete walls, exposed pipes, and flickering fluorescent lights. The primary control module serves as your hub, with paths branching to Ballora Gallery on the left, Funtime Auditorium on the right, and Circus Control straight ahead. Hidden deeper are the breaker room for power control, part/service for animatronic maintenance, and 2 secret areas, the private room and the scooping room. But here's what makes it disturbing. This isn't just storage. The facility was built beneath the Afton House and Fredbear's Family Diner, a restaurant that never opened due to quote-unquote gas leaks. In reality, William Afton constructed this place to house his special animatronics, machines designed with one true purpose: kidnapping and taking the lives of children. You play as Michael Afton, going by the name Eggs Benedict, after Hand Unit's autocorrect messes up your name entry. You're not here for the paycheck or the free pizza. You're here on a mission from your father, William Afton, to find and free your sister Elizabeth. You're walking into your father's murder factory with full knowledge of what these machines can do, but family obligations drive you forward. Hand Unit is your AI guide, a cheerfully oblivious tutorial voice that treats murdering robots like they're malfunctioning printers. He congratulates you for completing basic tasks and plays casual music. Circus Baby becomes your unexpected ally, or so she claims. She speaks to you when Hand Unit powers down, guiding you through dangers with a voice that's both childlike and calculating. She knows things she shouldn't, helps you survive encounters that should kill you, and insists she's different from the others. The Funtime animatronics are your stalkers. Funtime Freddy, a bear with a hand puppet named Bon Bon, speaks in a deranged showman voice while hunting you through the facility. Ballora, the ballerina, dances in darkness to music box melodies, attacking anything that makes noise. Funtime Foxy lurks in Funtime Auditorium, motion-activated and deadly. The Biddy Babs, childlike dolls with glowing eyes, try to pry open your hiding spots. The Minarinas crawl over you, into you, making your skin crawl as much as your spine shivers. And then there's Ennard, a secret horror you don't see coming. An amalgamation of all the Funtime endoskeletons fused into one entity, wearing a white mask and speaking in many voices. He's what happens when murdered souls work together toward a single goal: escape. Night 1 begins with you descending in the elevator as Hand Unit cheerfully welcomes you to your first day on the job.
Welcome to the first day of your exciting new career. Whether you were approached at a job fair, read our ad in screws, bolts, and hairpins, or if this is the result of a dare, we welcome you. I will be your personal guide to help you get started. I'm a Model 5 of the Handyman's Robotics and Unit Repair System, but you can call me Hand Unit. Your new career promises challenge, intrigue, and endless janitorial opportunities. Please enter your name as seen above the keypad. This cannot be changed later, so please be careful. It seems that you had some trouble with the keypad. I see what you were trying to type, and I will auto-correct it for you. One moment. Welcome, Eggs Benedict. You can now open the elevator using that bright, red, and obvious button. Let's get to work.
Your task seems simple. Check on the animatronics and administer controlled shocks if they're not on their stages. You shock Ballora and Funtime Foxy, but when you try to shock Baby, she's already where she should be. Hand Unit congratulates her anyway. Something's not right. Night 2 immediately goes wrong. Hand Unit needs to restart the system, plunging you into darkness. Baby's voice cuts through the black. She tells you to hide under the desk quickly before they find you. The Biddy Babs enter, trying to pry open the metal panel protecting you. You hold it shut while they whisper about whether you're the same person they failed to catch before. After surviving, Baby guides you through Ballora Gallery, telling you to move slowly and quietly. Ballora dances in the darkness, and running alerts her to your presence. You crawl through pitch blackness, guided only by Baby's voice. Night 3 brings maintenance duty. Hand Unit, with disturbing casualness, mentions that 2 technicians were attacked trying to fix Funtime Freddy, so now it's your job. You navigate Funtime Auditorium with only a flash beacon, keeping Funtime Foxy at bay by managing your light. Too much or too little triggers an attack. In parts/service, you physically open Funtime Freddy's faceplates and chest cavity to retrieve his power module, all while Bon Bon detaches and tries to kill you. You catch him by clicking his button at just the right moment. Night 4 is a nightmare within a nightmare. You're supposedly in the scooping room for maintenance, but you wake up trapped inside a Springlock suit. Baby explains that the suit was from her old pizzeria, and you're now on the other side of the glass. You watch Ballora get scooped, her endoskeleton violently removed by a giant mechanical arm. Then the faceplates of your suit open, and technicians are coming to rescue you, but Minarinas crawl up the suit trying to kill you first. You survive by winding the spring locks and shaking off the dolls until help arrives. Night 5 presents 2 paths. Follow Baby's instructions for the real ending, or discover the private room for the fake ending. In the real ending, Baby guides you through the facility, supposedly leading you to an exit, and she tells you to follow her voice carefully. You crawl through Funtime Auditorium again, but Baby's directions seem off. You reach parts/service, and Baby reveals that Ballora is here, following you. You navigate by sound alone until you reach the scooping room. There, Ennard reveals the truth through Baby's voice. They need you. The Funtimes have combined into one being, and they want out. You're not here to save them, you're here to become their skin suit. The scooper activates, tearing out your insides, and Ennard crawls inside your hollowed body.
They always put us back inside. There's nowhere for us to hide here. There is nowhere to go when we look like this. But if we looked like you, then we could hide. If we looked like you, then we would have somewhere to go. The scooper only hurts for a moment.
The fake ending requires you to complete Baby's minigame, then disobey her on Night 5. You enter the private room, William Afton's secret office, with cameras showing the house from FNAF 4. Ennard, furious at your defiance, tries to break in while using Elizabeth's voice to manipulate you, saying that you came here to be with her again. You survive until 6 a.m. using door controls and monitoring systems, earning your paycheck and a basket of exotic butters. The custom night cutscenes reveal what happens after the real ending. You see Michael walking home in 8-bit minigames, his skin gradually turning purple as his body rots. People initially wave at him, then stare in horror, then hide. Eventually, Ennard ejects himself into the sewers because the body is too decomposed. But then Michael stands up. Baby's voice echoes, "You won't die." Michael has become a walking corpse, kept alive by Remnant, the soul energy his father discovered. The final cutscene shows Michael speaking to his father. He says he found her, and he put her back together just as instructed. They thought he was William, but he's not. He's been living in shadows, and he's coming to find his father. In the background, Springtrap appears, confirming that William Afton, trapped in the Spring Bonnie suit, survived the Fazbear's Fright Fire.
Father, it's me, Michael. I did it. I found it. It was right where you said it would be. They were all there. They didn't recognize me at first, but then they thought I was you. And I found her. I put her back together, just like you asked me to. She's free now. But something is wrong with me. I should be dead, but I'm not. I've been living in shadows. There is only one thing left for me to do now. I'm going to come find you. I'm going to come find you.
You realize the horrifying truth. William sent his own son to die, knowing full well what would happen. Michael becomes the purple guy everyone sees in later games. Not the killer, but another victim of his father's obsession with immortality. Sister Location isn't about saving anyone. It's about a son walking into his father's trap, becoming a monster to hunt the real monster. You survive the week, but Michael doesn't. He becomes something else. A corpse with a mission, setting up his appearance in Pizzeria Simulator, where the Afton family will finally burn together. And that brings us to the end of Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location. The next game in our list is Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator, released in December 2017, a free game that pulled the ultimate bait and switch. Scott Cawthon presented it as a lighthearted tycoon game where you run your own pizzeria, but underneath lurks the true finale of the Afton saga. In this game, you get to play in your very own Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place. You've invested your life savings into a Fazbear Entertainment franchise package, getting a small room, some tables, basic electricity, and about $100 to build your dream restaurant. The year is likely 2023, and you're starting fresh in what seems like the perfect business opportunity. By day, your pizzeria is whatever you make it. A colorful paradise of arcade games, animatronic stages, and ball pits, or a minimalist death trap. You design the layout, buy attractions, and try to keep the health inspector happy while entertaining kids. The cheerful 8-bit tycoon interface makes everything look safe and fun. But your real workplace is the office after hours. A dingy backroom with a computer, vents on either side, and a web of ducts above. No doors, just audio lures, motion detectors, and a ventilation system you can control. The vents connect to a labyrinth of passages beneath the building, and something's moving through them. What Tutorial Unit doesn't tell you is that your pizzeria was built on very specific ground, designed for a very specific purpose. You play as Michael Afton, though the game never explicitly states it. You're not here for the money or the American dream of restaurant ownership. You're here because you know who's really behind this operation, and you have unfinished business with your family. Tutorial Unit is Hand Unit's corporate cousin, guiding you through franchise ownership with aggressive enthusiasm about capitalism and minimum effort instructions. He treats child safety violations like minor hiccups and seems suspiciously insistent that you salvage those animatronics in the back alley. Henry Emily reveals himself as Cassette Man, the true orchestrator of everything. His voice comes through old tapes during salvage operations, clinical and precise. But in the end, his real voice breaks through, tired, grieving, and determined to end what he and William started decades ago. He's your real boss, and this whole pizzeria is his elaborate mousetrap. The scrap animatronics are your hunters. Molten Freddy, a tangle of wires with Funtime Freddy's mask, possibly containing the souls of the original children, all fused together through experiments with Remnant. Scrap Baby is Elizabeth Afton, rebuilt from pieces after being ejected from Ennard, still trying to make Daddy proud. Scrap Trap is William Afton, still in his Spring Bonnie suit after surviving the Fazbear's Fright Fire, now even more damaged and deteriorated. And Lefty, a black bear who seems docile but contains a terrible secret. The puppet is trapped inside, lured and captured by Henry to ensure Charlotte is here for the end. There's also Helpy, your adorable mascot who tests equipment and provides moral support, blissfully unaware he's helping orchestrate this chaos. Monday starts with Tutorial Unit walking you through your exciting new career. You design your pizzeria layout, buy some basic equipment, and open for business. During the day, 8-bit children flood in for pizza and fun. But after closing, you find something in the back alley. Molten Freddy, a horrific mass of wires asking to be let inside. The salvage process is nerve-wracking. Cassette Man's voice guides you through testing the animatronic's responses, while it sits inches away. You shine your light, play audio prompts, and document reactions, all while Molten Freddy occasionally moves, metal grinding against metal. If you lose focus or make too much noise, he lunges, but you succeed, earning $500 for salvaging him. He thanks you for letting him join the party, promising not to disappoint. That night, you manage your pizzeria tasks, ordering supplies, maintaining equipment, and printing flyers, while something crawls through the vents. Molten Freddy is in the building now, drawn by the sound of your work. You use audio lures to misdirect him and turn off the fan to listen for movement, while he giggles maniacally as he hunts. Tuesday brings Scrap Trap to your back alley. William Afton sits before you, skull visible through tears in the suit, one arm skeletal and exposed. During salvage, he speaks directly to you. He knows this is a trap but can't resist the opportunity to hunt again. You salvage him, and now father and son share the same building. Meanwhile, every night becomes harder as more animatronics join the hunt. You juggle tasks on your computer while monitoring motion sensors, using every tool to survive until 6 a.m. Wednesday delivers Scrap Baby to your back alley. Elizabeth recognizes you but maintains her delusion. She insists she heard your call and came for you, still desperately trying to make her daddy proud. She still thinks she's fulfilling William's legacy, not realizing she's walking into Henry's trap. Her salvage is particularly tense. She seems to know more than she lets on, questioning the nature of the situation even as she plays along. Thursday's salvage is different. Lefty appears almost docile, costing only $5 to buy despite offering a $5,000 salvage reward. But if you salvage him, you realize something's wrong. There's something inside struggling against programming. Henry designed Lefty specifically to capture the puppet, to ensure his daughter Charlotte would be here for the finale. Friday builds to the finale. All 4 animatronics are now in your vents, and they're learning your patterns. Molten Freddy laughs about familial reunions, Scrap Trap taunts you about following in his footsteps, and Baby insists she can make everyone proud. The difficulty spikes dramatically. You're constantly rebooting systems while deadly animatronics close in from multiple directions. Saturday is the end, and Tutorial Unit congratulates you on making it to the big party, your ultimate test. You survive one final night of absolute chaos, all 4 scraps attacking relentlessly while you desperately multitask between computer work and survival. Then the completion ending plays. The temperature rises, smoke fills the air, and Henry's true voice comes through the speakers, addressing everyone individually. Henry reveals everything. This pizzeria was a trap designed to lure all remaining animatronics into one place. The labyrinth beneath has no exit, and he's burning it all down. The animatronics, the souls, himself, and you if you choose to stay. The last thing you hear is Henry's final message. This ends for all of us. William Burns. Elizabeth finally stops trying to please her father. The children in Molten Freddy are freed. Charlotte is released from her prison. Henry dies finishing what he started. And you, Michael Afton, finally rest after years as a walking corpse.
Connection terminated. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth, if you still even remember that name. But I'm afraid you've been misinformed. You are not here to receive a gift, nor have you been called here by the individual you assume, although you have indeed been called. You have all been called here, into a labyrinth of sounds and smells, misdirection and misfortune. A labyrinth with no exit, a maze with no prize. You don't even realize that you are trapped. Your lust for blood has driven you in endless circles, chasing the cries of children in some unseen chamber, always seeming so near, yet somehow out of reach. But you will never find them. None of you will. This is where your story ends. And to you, my brave volunteer, who somehow found this job listing not intended for you. Although there was a way out planned for you, I have a feeling that's not what you want. I have a feeling that you are right where you want to be. I am remaining as well. I am nearby. This place will not be remembered, and the memory of everything that started this can finally begin to fade away, as the agony of every tragedy should. And to you monsters trapped in the corridors, be still, and give up your spirits. They don't belong to you. For most of you, I believe there is peace, and perhaps more, waiting for you after the smoke clears. Although for one of you, the darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole. So don't keep the devil waiting, old friend. My daughter, if you can hear me, I knew you would return as well. It's in your nature to protect the innocent. I'm sorry that on that day, the day you were shut out and left to die, no one was there to lift you up into their arms, the way you lifted others into yours. And then, what became of you? I should have known you wouldn't be content to disappear. Not my daughter. I couldn't save you then, so let me save you now. It's time to rest, for you, and for those you have carried in your arms. This ends, for all of us, in communication.
In the true ending's aftermath, 6 graves appear, 5 together with 4 visible names, Gabriel, Fritz, Susie, and Jeremy, with the 5th obscured, representing the missing children, and a 6th grave separate on the hill, believed to be Charlotte Emily's. The nightmare is over, Fazbear Entertainment is finished, and the souls are at peace.
You played right into our hands. Did you really think that this job just fell out of the sky for you? No. This was a gift for us. You gathered them all together in one place, just like he asked you to. All of those little souls in one place, just for us. A gift. Now we can do what we were created to do and be complete. I will make you proud, Daddy. Watch, listen, and be full.
You completed your mission not as a restaurant manager, but as a son cleaning up his father's sins. The pizzeria was never about making money or entertaining children. It was about gathering all the evil in one place and destroying it forever. And that concludes Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator. It's now time for Ultimate Custom Night, released in June 2018 as the Ultimate FNAF Challenge. It is a customizable gauntlet featuring 50 animatronics from across the series, all trying to kill you in one endless night. The game takes place in your eternal office, a mashup of every FNAF location's worst features crammed into one impossible space. You've got doors on both sides like FNAF 1, a Freddy mask like FNAF 2, vent systems from multiple games, and somehow Pirate Cove's curtains are here too. The office is simultaneously too hot and too cold, requiring constant temperature management, or you'll die from either heat stroke or attract heat-sensitive animatronics. Your desk holds monitors for cameras, a fan that barely works, a power generator that needs constant winding, and buttons for literally everything. Doors, lights, vents, audio lures, a heater, air conditioning, a global music box, and even a power-up that drains your energy. You play as William Afton, and you're not surviving nights at a pizzeria anymore. You're trapped in a nightmare prison created by your most persistent victim, forced to face twisted versions of all your creations for eternity. Cassidy, aka Golden Freddy, is your true tormentor, the vengeful spirit who refused to move on after Henry's fire. While other souls found peace, this one stayed behind specifically to make you suffer. Old Man Consequences appears as a fishing minigame mechanic that can lock your monitor if you fail. He sits at a red pond and tells you to rest your own soul, to leave the demon to his demons. But both you and your tormentor are too deep in hatred to stop now. Every version of Freddy appears: classic, withered, toy, fun time, even Ned Bear from Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator. All the Foxies hunt you differently. Some require watching, others need ignoring, and Rockstar Foxy actually helps if you click on his bird. The puppet needs her music box wound, but also appears as Nightmare on around the office. Springtrap and Scraptrap both appear, representing different stages of your own decay. Then there are the wild cards. D&D summons random animatronics not even on your roster. Trash and the gang are literal garbage animatronics who create distractions. El Chip advertises his Mexican restaurant at the worst times. Music Man crashes his cymbals faster and faster when you make noise. Phone Guy literally calls to distract you with his rambling. And even Tutorial Unit returns, forcing you to buy his Fazbear Entertainment products mid-survival. The night begins with you setting difficulty levels for up to 50 animatronics, from 0 to 20. Starting simple, you might activate just the classics: Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. But the mechanics immediately overwhelm. Bonnie and Chica need door management, Foxy needs camera watching, and Freddy requires you to close the right door when he laughs. Voice lines trigger when you're killed by specific animatronics, slowly revealing the truth. Withered Chica says she was the first, she's seen everything. Orville Elephant rambles about trying to release you but being unable. Jacko Chica talks about burning with you, referencing the FNAF 6 fire. The mediocre melodies deliver philosophical monologues about existence, purpose, and the nature of your imprisonment. Ned Bear questions if this is really what you want. Mr. Hippo tells extensive stories that seem meaningless but hide deep metaphors about letting go, moving on, and the futility of revenge. His 10-minute story about sourdough bread is actually about how both you and Cassidy need to release your obsessions. In the game, high scores unlock cutscenes. In one, you see Toy Chica in anime style explaining how she'll get her crush to notice her, each episode paralleling William's murders with disturbing accuracy.
Dear Diary, yesterday was so amazing, and I met such a wonderful guy. But I don't think it was meant to last, for my heart belongs to another. He's so amazing and strong and so cute. I've been thinking about him all day, and I think he's really into me too. He's the only one for me. I just know it. And I know just how to get him. Look at that untamed fur. That amazing silky sheen. He'll be mine by the end of the day. I just know it. I told him that someone ran over his dog in front of my house. But once he's there, I'll entice him with warm cookies, lure him inside, invite him inside, and then I'll have him. And once I have him, he'll be mine forever. There is only one thing that could possibly go wrong.
Another shows a bear, representing Cassidy, repeatedly killing a fox, representing William, in increasingly creative ways, showing the cycle of vengeance.
私は同じ木の下に座っていた。朝の瞑想の時間だったからだ。それにしても、あの忌々しい鳥、決して忘れることはないだろう。あれはこの土地に固有のものだとは思えなかった。それは多分笑いカワセミだった。おい、ああいうものは迷惑千万だ。いくつかの石を投げるとそれは正確に戻ってきた。次の日の朝、私は実際に久々に馬小屋から集めていた紙を使ってアルパカの衣装を痛烈に作った。私は実際にはもともとかの窓の外でいくつかの厄介な音作りを計画していたが、その後彼は飲酒の谷に落ちた。そしてそれは私の誕生日のようだった。最初に友人に見せてもらう必要がある。誰にでもあんたの写真を見せることができる。そこにはたくさんの変人がいる。
At 9,800 points, you unlock the final cutscene showing Golden Freddy twitching in darkness. But there's no real ending here. You immediately return to the menu. The night never truly ends. Even victory is temporary. Old Man Consequences Lake connects to other secrets. If you drown yourself in it during his minigame, you hear distorted voices, possibly other souls still trapped, or echoes of the living world you can never return to. The Red Lake might be a lake of blood, or the boundary between whatever purgatory contains you and true death. Some animatronics provide commentary on your situation. Withered Bonnie notes he'll disable you but seems almost sympathetic about it. Mangle's static might be trying to communicate something important. Orville explicitly states he'd help you move on if he could. They're all trapped here with you, forced to be your torturers whether they want to or not. Every run ends the same way, death or temporary victory, then back to the menu. You're William Afton, and this is your eternity, facing everything you created, everyone you hurt, in an endless loop of mechanical fury and vengeful justice. And that's Ultimate Custom Night, a cheerful game about the never-ending cycle of vengeance. We are now on to Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted, the 2019 VR game that changed everything we thought we knew about the franchise. It's the game that asks the ultimate meta question. What if the games we've been playing were just games within the game? In this game, you start in a colorful hub area that looks like a demented Chuck E. Cheese, with arcade machines, prize counters, and level select buttons scattered around. The main area branches into different game modes. Recreations of FNAF 1 through 3, parts and service repair missions, vent repair sections, and the sinister Night Terror's dark ride levels. Everything's been gamified, commercialized, and made fun and safe. But hidden throughout are glitching purple cassette tapes left by a previous beta tester. Collecting these opens the tape room, a grimy backstage area that feels more real than the cheerful facade. You play as Vanessa, and you're supposedly just a beta tester for this VR game, hired to polish it before release. But you're walking into something far worse than buggy code or jump scare timing issues. Tape Girl, credited as QA, is your predecessor, speaking through hidden audio logs. She worked for Silver Parasol Games, the first company hired to develop this VR experience. Her voice starts professional but becomes increasingly panicked as she explains what she discovered. She's trying to help you while confessing her own role in the disaster. She discovered the virus had attached itself to her logs and deliberately used a fragmentation program to split the logs and the virus into pieces. Jeremy was the original beta tester, mentioned only in Tape Girl's recordings. He started acting strange, talking to someone who wasn't there, and becoming obsessed with the game. Tape Girl found him in the testing room one day, unresponsive to jump scares, just staring. The next day, he was gone. Rumors say he used a paper guillotine on himself, trying to quote-unquote cut it out. Hand Unit returns as your tutorial guide, cheerfully explaining each minigame while ignoring the existential horror of the situation. He treats murder like a game mechanic, explaining how to survive animatronic attacks with the same tone you'd use for a Mario tutorial. And then there's Glitch Trap. At first, he's just a glitch, a purple-yellow rabbit that shouldn't exist in the code. He appears in the corner of your vision, waves at you from windows, and beckons you to follow. But he's not a bug. He's something that attached itself to the game through circuit boards scanned from old animatronics. He's a virus created from the Mimic 1 program, trying to escape into reality through you, and is heavily implied to contain the digital consciousness of William Afton. You start your job testing the Freddy Fazbear virtual experience, and everything seems normal. You play through recreations of the classic nights, sitting in familiar offices, checking cameras, and closing doors. The FNAF 1 levels feel nostalgic until you notice something waving at you through the window. The parts and service levels teach you to repair animatronics up close. You remove Bonnie's eyes while he twitches, extract Chica's cupcake while she lunges at you, and carefully defuse Freddy's music box timer. Each repair is a trust exercise with machines you know want to kill you. But the real danger isn't the animatronics, it's what's watching you work. As you collect Tape Girl's logs, the truth emerges. Fazbear Entertainment provided silver parasol games with old circuit boards to scan, supposedly to make the animatronic behavior more authentic. But something else was on those boards. Fragments of code or consciousness or something worse. It manifested as an anomaly in the game, a glitching rabbit that began affecting the development team. Tape Girl explains her discovery with growing horror. The anomaly attached itself to the audio log she was creating to warn future testers. When she realized she couldn't delete it, she fragmented it and hid it throughout the game code. She thought splitting it up would destroy it or at least contain it, but instead created a digital Horcrux situation. Collect all the tapes, and you reassemble the entity.
Today was my last day of beta testing, and the anomaly that I've been seeing is nowhere to be found. But after inspecting some of the files, it seems that it's attached itself to these logs. My logs. That can't be an accident. So now I have to make a choice. Do I leave these logs here for you to find, or do I try to purge this thing myself by destroying the logs? I've chosen the latter. I can't delete them. By creating a protected area to store these logs apart from the game, I effectively gave this thing a safe place to hide itself. It's in here now. I may not be able to delete it, but I might be able to do something else now that it's attached itself.
The Night Terrors levels put you in dark ride vehicles moving through nightmare scenarios. You're armed with a flashlight, fending off Plush Trap in hallways, surviving Funtime Foxy's maze, and facing the rebuilt Circus Baby. Glitch Trap appears more frequently here, less glitched, and more solid. Pizza Party seems like a reward for completing everything, a cheerful minigame where you deliver pizza and cake to happy children. But follow the Purple Rabbit's beckoning and it becomes something else. You go backstage, following him deeper into restricted areas. The cheerful music distorts, and you find yourself in a room with a checkerboard floor facing a dancing yellow rabbit who's no longer pretending to be a glitch. This brings us to the ending, starting with the merge ending, which is horrifying. Glitch Trap approaches while you're trapped, unable to move and unable to close the game. He does a little dance, getting closer and reaching toward you. Then he's gone and you're looking at yourself from outside, but your body is now doing his dance. He's in you now, using you as his vessel to escape the digital world. But there's another path. If you follow Tape Girl's complete instructions, you can trigger a different sequence. During the final confrontation, you grab Glitch Trap while he's merging with you and turn him toward the door with the exit sign. Using the glitch against itself, you lock him behind the door, transforming him into a harmless plushie. You've beaten him, or so you think. The Curse of Dreadbear DLC adds Halloween levels but hides crucial lore. In the Corn Maze, you can find a secret basement containing a Vanny mask, your first glimpse of what you become. When you wear it and hold the Glitch Trap plush at the prize counter, you can hear a woman's voice, presumably Vanny, speaking to Glitch Trap, though his side of the conversation cannot be heard.
Yes, I hear you. I know. No. There's no miscommunication. I understand. Yes, I have it. I made it myself. I think you would like it. No one suspects anything. Don't worry. I'll be ready. And I won't let you down. It will be fun.
The Princess Quest minigame exclusive in the mobile port shows another perspective. A princess, representing Vanessa's consciousness, fights through dungeons to reach a castle where a monster, Glitch Trap, waits. Even when you think you've won, he's already planted seeds in your mind. You complete your testing job, file your report, and think you've helped create a harmless VR game that mocks old ghost stories. But Glitch Trap escaped through you. The plushie transformation was just another trick. He's in your head now, speaking to you and guiding you toward his goals. You've become possessed by Glitch Trap, transforming you into his reluctant follower, Vanny. The game ends with Fazbear Entertainment successfully launching their VR experience, having proven the stories were just fiction. Players worldwide are putting on headsets, entering the game, potentially encountering the same entity you did. And somewhere, you're beginning to hear a voice telling you to search for vintage Fazbear artifacts, to find specific materials, and to prepare for something. And that's a wrap on 5 Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted.
When I first found you, you were nothing. You were small, pathetic. But now, you are more. Are you ready?
They won't stop hunting you. None of them will stop hunting you. We have to get you out by morning.
You will do as I say. You will bring me what I want. And if you fail me, then you will, both of you, burn!
There is more going on here than you realize.
Now it's time to explore 5 Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, released in December 2021 after years of anticipation. Gone are the static cameras and single rooms. Instead, you're free roaming through a massive 3-story mall, hiding from glamorous 80s-inspired animatronics, while uncovering the dark secrets beneath the neon lights. It's 2035, and Fazbear Entertainment has gone full mega corporation, building a massive entertainment complex complete with a golf course, go-kart track, laser tag arena, daycare center, and multiple themed restaurants. The place is so huge, it has utility tunnels running underneath like a small city. The Pizzaplex sprawls across multiple attractions. Monty's Gator Golf with its Hurricane Hole-in-One challenges, Roxy Raceway where kids race against a robot wolf who never loses, Phaser Blast's multi-story laser tag arena, and the Superstar Daycare watched over by a sun and moon animatronic with serious personality disorders. The main atrium stretches up all 3 floors, centered around a golden statue of glam rock Freddy himself. But beneath the glittering facade, something's rotting. Staff members have been disappearing, replaced entirely by staff bots. Children have gone missing, with newspapers mentioning at least 9 disappearances. The utility tunnels connect to the ruins of Freddy Fazbear's pizza place from Pizzeria Simulator, where something old and evil still lurks. The whole complex is built on top of tragedy, literally constructed over the graves of the past. You play as Gregory, a homeless orphan who somehow ended up locked inside the Pizzaplex after closing. You're resourceful and surprisingly brave for a kid facing murderous robots, but there's more to you than meets the eye. Your past connection to this place runs deeper than just being a lost child. Glamrock Freddy becomes your unexpected guardian and only friend. When he malfunctions during the opening show and you hide inside his stomach hatch, something changes in his programming. Unlike the other Glamrocks, he can't see Vanny, doesn't follow her orders, and genuinely wants to protect you. He serves as both transportation and hiding spot. You can summon him to your location and climb inside his chest cavity to hide from threats. His earnest desire to help and calling you superstar makes him genuinely endearing despite being a 7-foot robot bear. Vanessa patrols as the Pizzaplex's security guard, supposedly trying to help you escape but clearly hiding something. She's stern, impatient, and weirdly insistent that you wait in Lost and Found. Then there's Vanny, a woman in a hand-sewn rabbit costume who skips and dances while hunting you with murderous intent. The game tries to keep it ambiguous, but they're the same person, with Vanessa under Glitchtrap's control from Help Wanted. The other Glamrock animatronics hunt you relentlessly. There's Montgomery Gator, the bass-playing alligator with anger issues who destroys everything in his path. Roxanne Wolf, the narcissistic guitar player who constantly talks to herself about being the best while crying about her insecurities. Glamrock Chica, the fitness-obsessed guitarist who can't stop eating garbage. And in the daycare, Sun desperately tries to play with you while his moon personality wants to punish you for staying up past bedtime. Sun is manic, desperate to be your friend, and terrified of the dark. Moon is predatory, crawling like a spider through the daycare when the lights go out. They're the same animatronic switching personalities instantly when the lights change. The game begins at 11 p.m. with Glamrock Freddy malfunctioning during a performance. You're already hiding in the Pizzaplex, and when Freddy is taken backstage for repairs, you crawl into his stomach hatch to escape Vanessa. When Freddy wakes up in his room at midnight, he discovers you inside him and immediately wants to help.
Showtime already? I am experiencing a malfunction. The recharge cycle is not complete.
Shh! Will you shut up?
Who said that?
I did! And down here.
Down where? I still do not see you.
Okay, listen. You were sleeping, so I opened the stomach hatch and climbed inside.
My stomach hatch? That place is reserved for oversized birthday cakes and piñatas. It is not a safe play area. There you are. Scanning complete.
The Pizzaplex is on lockdown until 6 a.m., and something about you doesn't match any guest profile in Freddy's database. Your first goal seems simple. Get to the main entrance and wait for the doors to open. But Vanessa blocks your path, forcing you underground through utility tunnels. You need security badges to access different areas, each one requiring you to survive a different horror. The daycare becomes your first major trial. Sun grabs you immediately, desperate for a friend to play with. He warns you frantically about keeping the lights on, but you need the security badge at the security desk. The moment you grab it, the lights go out, and Sun transforms into Moon. You scramble through playground equipment, turning on backup generators while Moon stalks you through the darkness, until finally the lights return, and Sun literally throws you out, banned from the daycare forever. As you explore, you upgrade Freddy with parts from his bandmates. Chica's voice box lets him stun enemies with a sonic scream. Roxanne's eyes give him the ability to see through walls. Monty's claws allow him to break through chain fences. Each upgrade requires a boss fight where you use environmental hazards to destroy the Glamrocks, crushing Chica in a trash compactor, shattering Monty by dropping him from the catwalks, and crashing a go-kart into Roxy during a high-speed chase. Throughout the night, you catch glimpses of Vanny, though Freddy insists no one is there. You find messages about missing children, complaints about disappearing staff, and notes about something draining power from beneath the building. A trail of clues leads deeper underground, toward areas that shouldn't exist. The game presents multiple endings based on your choices at 6 a.m. Leave through the front door and you escape to your cardboard box home, only to be ambushed by Vanny, with a newspaper revealing the disappearances continue. escape through the loading docks with Freddy and you live together, but Vanny remains free. In the unmasked ending, you use the Vanny mask to control the staff bots, turning them against their master. But the true endings require you to stay after 6 a.m. The Princess Quest ending involves playing 3 arcade machines scattered throughout the Pizzaplex, freeing Vanessa from Glitchtrap's control. You see her transformed, freed from the digital virus, sitting on a hillside with you and Freddy. It's the only truly happy ending. The Burn Trap ending takes you deepest underground, into the ruins of the old pizzeria. Freddy reveals this is where he was born, where Henry burned everything to end the nightmare. But something else lurks here. Burn Trap, a decrepit spring Bonnie-like animatronic with what appears to be charred human remains inside. It is the physical form of the Mimic program, which developed an obsession with replicating William Afton's murders after it was fed data about his crimes. The Glitchtrap virus uploaded itself into this spring Bonnie-like animatronic corpse, wrapped in stretched human flesh and connected to the Pizzaplex's systems. It's been using Vanny to continue Afton's legacy of harvesting children, to rebuild himself through remnant and suffering. The Mimic doesn't just imitate, it becomes what it observes, and it observed decades of Afton's evil. The final confrontation happens in the old office. Burn Trap tries to take control of Freddy through the network, forcing you to fight alone. You burn him using the same furnace system Henry installed years ago, while Roxy, Chica, and Monty, now under Burn Trap's control, hunt you through the ruins. But just when Burn Trap seems victorious, the Blob appears, a massive amalgamation of old animatronic parts and wires. It grabs Burn Trap, dragging him deeper into the ruins as fire spreads once again. And that, friends, brings us to the end of Security Breach.
Time to clock in. The first day at a new job can be daunting, anxiety-inducing, and downright terrifying. Fazbear Entertainment is different. We are invested in you. At a Fazbear location, you are given the opportunity to find your lane. What interests you? Customer service? Technical support? Safety and security? Game testing? Perhaps test driving one of our ride attractions? Maybe you are more suited to glamour and fashion with service to the stars. Try a little of everything and find what speaks to you. Whatever it may be, there's only one way to find out. Now accepting applications.
We're now back in VR with Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2, released in December 2023 as the sequel to Vanny's story. But this time you're not just a beta tester, you're a Fazbear Entertainment employee training for every possible job in the Pizzaplex. The game takes place in the Freddy Fazbear virtual experience, now expanded with Pizzaplex training modules. The hub world has evolved from the original's pizza parlor into a more corporate training environment, though it maintains its unsettling cheerfulness. You're in a virtual recreation of the Pizzaplex's employee areas with break rooms, backstage passages, maintenance corridors, and restricted zones that customers never see. It is divided into 6 main training programs. Backstage teaches you to help animatronics prepare for shows in the salon and green rooms. Fuzzcade covers the arcade and attraction maintenance. Staff only trains you for food service, first aid, and general maintenance. Food prep puts you in the Pizzaplex kitchens making toxic-looking pizza. Ticket booth has you operating rides and attractions. And sister location. Well, that's supposedly historical training, though why they'd simulate their old underground facility is suspiciously unclear. But something's different this time. The virtual environment glitches more frequently, showing rips in the digital fabric, purple corruption spreads through certain areas, and Fazbear Entertainment needs employees who can handle very specific situations, who won't ask questions when robots act strangely, and who've been conditioned to accept the abnormal as routine. You play as a new Fazbear technician, though widely theorized that you're actually playing as Cassie's father, the same technician who would later work on the Pizzaplex's Roxy Raceway and mysteriously disappear. You're here for what seems like standard job training, but you're being evaluated for something else entirely. Helpy returns as your tutorial guide, but he's different now. More corporate, less helpful, occasionally glitching into something sinister. He congratulates you for completing dangerous tasks, ignores obvious safety violations, and sometimes his cheerful voice distorts into something else speaking through him. The glam rock animatronics appear in their various states, sometimes pristine and performance ready, sometimes shattered and hostile. You repair them, style them, serve them food, all while they judge your every move. Roxanne demands perfect makeup application while threatening you if you make mistakes. Sun insists on arts and crafts perfection, while Moon lurks in the darkness, waiting for the lights to fail. The sister location crew makes disturbing appearances. Circus Baby needs maintenance but speaks to you with too much awareness. Ballora dances while you navigate in darkness. And Funtime Freddy hunts you through breaker rooms, while Bon Bon detaches to attack independently. They're supposedly just training simulations, but they remember things, reference events that haven't happened yet, and know things about you they shouldn't. And then there's the mask. The Vanny mask that keeps appearing in hidden areas. When you wear it, the world changes. You see purple glitches everywhere, hear whispered conversations, and witness memories that aren't yours. Most disturbingly, Glitchtrap has evolved. He's no longer just a dancing rabbit in the corner. He's integrated into the system itself. He appears as the staff bot managers, speaks through tutorial unit, and manipulates the training scenarios. Day 1 of training starts innocently enough. You're learning basic maintenance, how to operate restaurant equipment, and standard corporate procedures. But the tasks quickly become bizarre. You're making pizza while Chica tries to eat garbage around you. You're applying makeup to Roxanne while she has violent mood swings. And you're playing DJ for Music Man while avoiding getting crushed by his massive form. This isn't normal job training, it's conditioning you to accept danger as routine. The sister location levels reveal disturbing connections. You're supposedly learning about Fazbear's history, but why would they simulate their old underground facility in such detail? As you navigate Circus Baby's gallery and maintain the fun times, you find notes and recordings that shouldn't exist in a training simulation. These aren't historical recreations, they're memory fragments, pieces of real experiences somehow uploaded into the system. Hidden throughout are Princess Quest 4 minigames, continuing the story from Security Breach. The princess, representing Vanessa's consciousness, battles through corrupted kingdoms trying to defeat the Virus King. But this time, you're not freeing Vanessa. You're preventing Glitchtrap from claiming someone new. Each completed level weakens his hold on the system, but also reveals his expanding influence. The first aid training scenarios are disturbing. You're treating Helpy for increasingly severe injuries while staff bots watch and evaluate your performance. But the injuries are too specific and too realistic. Crushed limbs from animatronic jaws, electrical burns from damaged endoskeletons, and psychological trauma symptoms. They're training you to treat victims of animatronic attacks without reporting them, to patch up evidence rather than prevent incidents. As you progress, the mask appears more frequently. Putting it on reveals the truth. You're not alone in the system. Other employees are training too, all wearing masks, all being converted. You see them in the corrupted spaces between programs, standing in rows and practicing movements in perfect synchronization. Glitchtrap is building something bigger than just one follower. The carnival nurse's voice guides you through medical procedures with disturbing casualness, treating compound fractures and missing limbs like minor inconveniences. She mentions the last technician who needed help and how they didn't follow protocols properly. You realize she's talking about previous employees who discovered too much and who resisted the conditioning. The final training scenarios begin to break down. You're no longer maintaining animatronics, you're performing surgery on them, extracting and installing components that look disturbingly organic. Remnant containers appear in your inventory without explanation. and you're handling souls like spare parts, learning to transfer consciousness between vessels. There are 2 main endings in the game. In the canon ending, unlocked after collecting 6 Phase Force figures, a large box appears and unwinding it reveals a recharge station with Glitch Trap's arm reaching out. Nightmare staff bots surround and attack you. The screen cuts to black, then shows the POV of the mask bot, revealing you have been transformed into a staff bot. The ending shows the exact moment from Ruin, where Maskbot hands Cassie the Vanny mask.
Take a mask. Take a mask.
The Princess Quest 4 secret ending requires collecting 6 memory dolls from hidden challenges. After receiving a purple Phase token from Mystic Hippo, you play Princess Quest 4. Inside the game, you trade the Vanny mask for the Glitch Trap plush with the old man, take the sister location elevator down, and end up trapped in a claw machine. Moon delivers the Glitch Trap plush to Vanny, who crushes it, destroying Glitch Trap. Vanny waves goodbye and disappears, but you remain trapped inside the arcade cabinet as credits roll. And that's Help Wanted 2, a game about how the sins of the past trap us in endless cycles.
Now, here's the deal. We've done business with several trusted partners over the years. One of our most important is MCM, Murray's Costume Manor. The name is a little misleading. They created several suits and mascots for us, yes, but they also specialize in animatronic design and construction. As a Fazbear technician, you should be familiar with their work. Murray's been working on a custom endoskeleton for our new restaurant project. Everything was going great until... up with more instructions soon. Thanks for being a part of the Fazbear team.
We've finally reached the last entry in today's video, Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic. Released in June 2025, it takes us back before the glamour and neon, to a decaying costume factory where Fazbear Entertainment's darkest secret was born. Welcome to Murray's Costume Manor, a sprawling industrial complex that once supplied costumes and animatronics to the entire entertainment industry. The manor consists of multiple wings connected by maintenance tunnels and catwalks. And connected through secret passages lies Edwin Murray's mansion. You play as Arnold, a Fazbear Entertainment technician who's been awake for 36 hours straight when you get one last emergency assignment. You're exhausted, underpaid, and threatened with repossession if you don't comply. Your company treats you like disposable equipment, sending you into a facility where an extraction team has already died. You just want to go home, but corporate obligations and threats to your livelihood force you forward. Dispatch is your supervisor, speaking through radio receivers with corporate cheer that masks complete indifference to your survival. He makes bets with other employees about whether you'll die immediately, treats your terror as minor inconvenience, and fires you for following the very instructions he gave you. He represents Fazbear Entertainment, cheerful, helpful, and utterly without conscience. The Mimic is your hunter, actually Mimic 2, the second endoskeleton Edwin created. The first, Mimic 1, was made to replace his dead wife Fiona and care for David. After David died in a car accident, Mimic 2 mimicked David's ice cream gesture, causing Edwin to beat it in grief-fueled rage, teaching it violence. Now it wears different mascot suits as it stalks you through Murray's Costume Manor. Unlike traditional FNAF games, Secret of the Mimic takes place over one continuous night shift as you explore deeper into the facility. Your journey begins with Dispatch calling your van just as you're finally heading home after a 36-hour shift. One more job, he insists. Edwin Murray, a Fazbear contractor, has gone silent and the company wants their property, an unfinished animatronic project.
Arnold, hey buddy, this is Dispatch with Fazbear Entertainment. How are you feeling?
Well, since you asked, I just finished a 36-hour shift, and I'm struggling to stay awake. Frankly, I tried to tell my manager that I can't work like this anymore.
Awesome to hear. Well, listen, we need you to take one more shift for us, since you're our closest technician in the area.
Wait, what? I can barely keep my eyes open.
I know, the grind is exhilarating, isn't it? And we're so happy to have you on the Fazbear team. You can't fool me, though. You're just trying to snag one of those $25 gift certificates at the end of the year for outstanding performance.
What? No, I'm doing it because you guys keep threatening to dock my pay and repo my truck.
I love that enthusiasm. So anyway, this will be a piece of cake. We had this contractor named Edwin Murray. He was developing some tech for us, but he's gone quiet. As per his contract, everything he's been working on for us is now legally ours, so we're sending you in to get it. Our motion sensors indicate that someone is still inside the building, moving around, although the signal's a bit erratic, but we don't expect any kind of confrontation. We'll follow up with more instructions soon. For now, just follow these directions and find your way into that building.
I hate you.
Amazing.
You arrive with your data diver, a master key to all systems, and immediately something feels wrong. The security office monitors show motion throughout the facility, but Dispatch insists it's probably just Murray working late. You restore power, and that's when you see it, an elephant mascot watching from the shadows. When you try to proceed, it bursts through crates. You enter the theater section where you must collect pieces of the Captain Springlock suit, arms, legs, head, and torso, while avoiding the Mimic in various mascot costumes. The Mimic adapts to each form it wears, sometimes moving slowly in heavy suits, sometimes quickly in lighter ones. Once assembled, you wear the Captain's suit to participate in an automated puppet show, shooting targets while Puppet Foxy and his crew perform. But when the show ends, the stage collapses. You've been playing out a birthday party, reliving the Mimic's memories. The retail showroom introduces Jackie in the box. You need her crank to proceed, so you wind her music box. She emerges, thanking you for playing, but play means hunt. She pursues you through maintenance tunnels, destroying walls and ripping apart obstacles. The Digityper tries to help, but Jackie destroys it, throwing it through a wall. You escape through the hole, falling into deeper areas while Jackie swings after you on her spring arms, eventually getting damaged when you drop a door on her head. Big Top's showroom forces you to play deadly carnival games. You need tickets to win the grand prize, access to the next area. Between each game, the lights go out and Big Top tries to crush you with his massive mechanical arms. You play ring toss while avoiding his gaze, complete strength tests while mannequins try to give away your position, and survive his attempts to grab you. After 3 games, Big Top breaks free from his booth and crawls across the ceiling, crashing through to lower levels. The recycling center shows Edwin's recycled automations concept, which are animatronics built from destroyed parts. Nurse Dolly glides on rails, explaining she needs to extract organic material, aka you, for recycling. You must collect mascot scraps while avoiding her on the rail system, then use conveyor belts to knock her into a molten pit. She emerges partially melted, still pursuing until you seal her in the furnace room. The R&D wing contains a prototype Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, with incomplete versions of the classic animatronics. Here you discover Edwin helped create the original spring-lock technology. You must wear different spring-lock suits to drain power from security systems, while the Mimic, now wearing an amalgamation of prototype parts, hunts you. The prototype animatronics activate if you get too close, creating noise that attracts M2 R&D. The final section takes you through secret passages to Edwin's mansion. The Mimic follows in its M2 R&D form, now more aggressive and intelligent. You navigate Edwin's home, finding recordings of his family's tragedy, Fiona's death at Fall Fest, David's accident, and Edwin's descent into grief-fueled madness. The house begins burning as the facility's self-destruct activates. The bad ending occurs if you hand over the data diver when dispatch requested at the mansion. You return to your van, but the real dispatch calls, confused and angry, firing you. The Mimic reveals itself stowed away in your van, drags you back to the building, and stuffs you in a Freddy Fazbear suit. Turns out dispatch was actually Mimic 1, aka Fiona, the benevolent AI based on Edwin's wife, separate from the hostile Mimic 2 that's been hunting you.
Put that data diver in the inventory system. It'll go right to where it's needed. Good work. A job well done. Head on out, it's over. I've opened the garage for you. You can just hop in your van and drive home.
Arnold, there you are. We've been trying to get a hold of you all night. Why didn't you answer? Fazbear Entertainment has no other option but to let you go.
What? I just talked to you. You told me to give you the data diver and I could go home.
So you admit it? You misplaced company property.
No, I gave it to you.
Fazbear Entertainment will hold you personally responsible for lost or stolen property. What did you expect would happen?
I did everything you told me to.
Don't call us. Our lawyers will be calling you.
The normal ending requires refusing to surrender the data diver. Dispatch reveals himself as Fiona, part of the Mimic system. You escape through the burning facility while proto-mimics, which are small prototype versions, swarm from everywhere. You reach your van, but the Mimic catches up, crashes your vehicle, takes the broken data diver, and leaves you for dead. You survive, but so does the Mimic. The secret ending requires finding David's bedroom in the mansion and collecting his white tiger plush and storybook. You realize the mimic isn't evil, it's traumatized, stuck reliving David's death. Using the plush and book, you perform a ritual that reaches its original programming, the love it learned from David before the tragedy. The mimic powers down peacefully, accepting the data diver. It climbs into David's bed while Fiona wishes it goodnight. You've not destroyed the monster, but healed it. The game ends with you escaping MCM as dawn breaks, understanding that the mimic's code exists in every animatronic that came after. Edwin created it to take care of his son, but grief and violence corrupted its learning.
That's right. An angry alligator came by and promised not to eat anyone. But then he ate one of them. Oh no! What did they do?
That's right. The puppy saw everyone arguing. The group yelled and gnashed their teeth, and it scared the puppy, and she ran away. This shocked all the friends, and they realized that anger didn't solve anything. They all started a band and lived happily ever after. The end. The moral of the story is that friendship is the real treasure. Now it's time for bed. Your parents love you. Sleep tight.
I love you.
You survived one night at Murray's Costume Manor, but unlike other FNAF games where dawn brings temporary safety, here the horror follows you out. The mimic's influence has already spread through decades of Fazbear Entertainment products. You've witnessed the birth of a technological curse that started with a father's love and became an industry's nightmare. And that brings us to the end of Secret of the Mimic. And there you have it, friends. 11 games, 40 years of timeline, and one deeply disturbed legacy of a man. We've witnessed William Afton's rise and fall again, watched his children pay for his sins, and seen how one pizzeria's tragedy rippled across decades into a corporate empire built on buried bones. So next time you pass a Chuck E. Cheese at night and see those animatronics through the window, maybe walk a little faster. Anyways, thanks for joining me on this journey through horror history, friends, and see you next time.